what we're going to do. Okay, so they have mics. I'm going to allow my guests to introduce themselves. That would be a great start. So, without further ado, please do.
Hi everyone. Everyone having a good time? Alright. My name is Darren McCoy and I'm the director of JCT Community Management. Just a community-based company in the area. I'm here to let you know a little bit more about what we do.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And to my left side, we have.
Hi, I'm Kwesia and I work on a project called Black Minds Matter that's under Wandsworth Community Empowerment Network that works with inequalities across the board. And I'm here with my colleague.
Hi everyone, my name is Candace and I also work with Black Minds Matter and Wandsworth Community Empowerment Network. And I'm also a barber.
Amazing. Thank you very much. So, JCT, what does that stand for? What is JCT?
Okay, so the acronym is Just Come Together. That's what we know JCT to stand for. If you're a bit older or you're from the locality, you might know it to stand for Clapham Junction. But I think, the whole come together thing, it was an idea that we had that people were too separated out here. A lot of agencies working for different things, when I think at the end of the day we all want the same kind of thing, so it's about just coming together. JCT.
Yes, I like that a lot. And yourselves, Black Minds Matter, kind of speaks for itself at the same time, but what do you do within your organisation? What are you about?
So Black Minds Matter is essentially about tackling inequalities within mental health. So I'll just give you guys some of the facts. So 69% of young people are in the looked after care in Wandsworth. 4 to 5 more overrepresented in mental health. Black mums are up to 7 times more likely to die in childbirth and generally more likely to be excluded. So with all these inequalities that are happening, Black Minds Matter is about tackling those things and creating a better future for us young black people and our community.
Amazing, thank you very much. Candice, can you add anything to that? That was quite well rounded.
So originally when our organisation was founded, we were working with young people and we were kind of running leadership courses for them, so maybe like 10-week program here, a summer holiday program there, and empowering individual young people to become community leaders. But similar to what the gentleman was saying, we realised that just having a bunch of organisations running workshops here and there is not going to fight systemic issues. You need a more cohesive and systematic approach. You can't just do some fun activities, and even though they are empowering, it's not going to affect the kind of change that we really need to be seeing. So recently we've made a pivot towards less focus on, on individual young people, and more trying to raise awareness of what the issues are. Because a lot of us, we know that racism exists, but then you have the government saying, no, it doesn't, and it's hard to provide facts, and to kind of back up what you know to be true with the evidence. So the first thing we're trying to do is raise awareness of what the issues are. The second thing is to promote ways for people to act and to change the world around them. Action, awareness, you said that awareness already. Access, absolutely. One of the big issues when it comes to inequalities is we don't know where to go to access help, we don't know where to go to access opportunities. So rather than trying to create opportunities, we signpost young people to where opportunities already exist in their communities. Access, awareness, and action are the things that we're really pivoting towards.
That's beautiful. So basically, it sounds like you do very similar work, but in different ways. So when it comes to JCT, I want to know, you work within the area quite deeply on the ground. So with your, I would say, your rounds. Can we put them rounds? With your rounds, what are
Patrols.
Patrols, there we go. With your patrols, what are you guys finding in the community? What's affecting us? What are your findings?
So we're going through global pandemic, as everybody knows. I'm sure you've fed up with hearing about it. But that has got street crime down a little bit. But you see, as we're getting out of it now, the kids are about on the road, it's summertime, so the violence and the trouble is starting again. We're starting to see, you know, undesirables on the estate, just rubbish everywhere, young kids going at each other for absolutely no reason. There's guys like us that are needed as elders in the community to come and try and suppress some of this. So what we do regular street patrols. We patrol schools at those hours, first thing in the morning, last thing in the evening when they're coming out of school. And that's when we're noticing that there seems to be the most conflict and trouble. There was a stage, I'm sure everybody remembers, just even a couple of months ago, there was some funny characters going around and following girls and stuff like that. So that's where we came in. We said, no, the kids are supposed to be able to go to school and feel good. The parents are supposed to have no problem. So that's where the patrolling comes in. We go among the gang individuals, the people that grew up around us, so they know that it's not like it's the police coming in. I think we need to be, you know, the conduit between the police and the community, because the trust has gone. So many mums losing their kids out here, and it's just so sad to see. So that was part of the reason why we decided that we were going to start doing street patrols. As you can see, you know, the man that we've got on body armour and that, it's not a joke, it's really serious, you know. We're actually putting ourselves at a lot of risk in order to try and save some of these kids out here, because it's destruction.
That's exactly what I'm hearing. And yourself, I think you touched on a few bits already, but what are your findings in the community?
So where we originally started, before we actually started Black Man's Matter, we're under a community-based organisation called Wandsworth Community Empowerment Network. So we run an annual conference called Healing Our Broken Village, and from that annual conference is where Black Minds Matter kind of started as well, because Healing Our Broken Villages is about black mental health, again trying to tackle the inequalities within that stream of work. So what was said at that conference was that we got to start with young people first. It's one thing trying to tackle older people in mental health system already or CAMS, it's about the youth coming up. So how are we going to try to address this? And we flipped it into trying to make opportunities. Like Candace said, it first started with just building social change leaders, and it was just small groups of stuff, but now, as Candace already said, it's now moving towards action, access and awareness.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
Some other findings within WCN's work, actually communities in Wandsworth are particularly affected by a lot of health inequalities. That's physical, mental health, but also physical health. So things like diabetes and high blood pressure. These are things that affect especially Black and Asian communities a lot in Wandsworth. So as well as the mental health concerns, there's also a lot of physical conditions that are often preventable, that because of lack of information and I guess lifestyle practices and things like the quality of your environment, the food that you eat, all of these things add up to also create a lot of strain on your physical body as well as your mind.
That is true, wow. See, it gets everyone thinking about what's going on in the community. What do we engage in? What do our young children engage in as well? So, since the pandemic, have you seen the community look a little bit different? And that's a question for both of you actually. You being out maybe before the pandemic, opposed to after the pandemic. What does the difference look like?
I think through the diversity of the pandemic, it's kind of brought people together. I think there is a strength in the community at the moment that this is exposing, and this is what we need to get out. We need more of this community spirit, more people coming together to do like-minded things. Like I said before, for me at the moment, it's about the youth. It's about getting them off of these streets and giving them other tools to teach them to navigate life in a different way, rather than, you know, you're just online and you're just out here running around. It's no good. There's no future in it.
Yeah. And that's where we come over to you for the actual access and into the community and certain things. But there's going to be a link. We're going to create a link today, but go for it.
Well, off the top of my head, one thing I would say is I think people actually are a little bit kinder and more willing to interact with each other now. I think having been deprived of interaction for so long, like people, even people who might not have been that social before the pandemic, they're kind of more willing to talk to their neighbour, to smile at their neighbour, to have a little chat here and there, which has been nice to observe.
Yeah, so at the beginning, we actually started doing some stuff online. We actually was doing a project with the university, what was about COVID and the effect on young people. So some of the foundings that I had whilst I was doing that and helping to facilitate was how isolated people, young people were feeling, how they felt that the blame was being put on them. There was loads of different factors going on, in fact, that was findings of those facilitation and workshop and research that we did. And moving away from it now, I see that young people are now taking it upon themselves to try to change that narrative as well. That was being pushed on them. So I think that's some of the findings of which I've seen for myself and the work we're doing.
Of that, what does action look like? If we wanted to stand up and today we wanted to do something to help the community, what does action look like for people that are here today, or young people?
I think action definitely involves networking, and like I said before, I can't say it enough, it's getting to know like-minded people that are trying to do the same thing as you. So with that Just Come Together ethos, it's about different agencies joining up, because we're stronger together than we are apart. And I think that is the main source. I think from the government downwards, yes, there can be so much that we could wait to be gifted to us, but we've got to start it here. We've got to start it within us, join up together, and we form a movement, and we can get something going.
Yeah.
And I feel also, just to add to that, another important thing is that it's not just a black problem, even though, or it's not just our problem, it's everyone's problem. Whenever there's inequalities or stuff like that being faced, whatever discrimination or whatever is happening, it's a everyone problem. It's not just that particular community's problem. It's everyone to come together and, like what you're saying, work together to move to a better future.
I think there's a spectrum of stuff that you could do. You could be out there being an activist if you want. You can start events like what you guys have done here. But it can also be small things like engaging with your neighbours. Like it can be things like how you engage with, people might call them undesirables, but people that are less well off in your society, but people that are homeless, how do you engage with the people around you? I think it starts from there, and people in your household. That's where community really begins. It could be things like doing more reading on what the inequalities are in your area, but it could also be, like what you said, finding organisations that are around you that are doing the work and joining up with them, whether it's making donations. That makes a huge impact. A lot of these community groups that you see, they're self-funded or they're funded on donations. So giving what you can, even though you all might not have a lot, give what you can, put in your effort, put in your work, donate what you can really to different causes that are already doing the work. It's not always about going off and starting something, because we've already got 100,000 million organisations all trying to make difference. It can be a matter of joining up with what's already existing and just trying your best, I suppose.
I think that also adds to the fact that most of the work we do is co-production as well. So we're trying to co-produce with the community, with these agencies, and bridge that gap. That's a lot of the work that Wandsworth Community Empowerment does, in the sense of bridging that gap and co-producing and just coming together. Literally coming back to that point of coming together.
It's all about coming together. That's the theme I'm hearing resonating throughout the set. Okay, so how does anybody come and volunteer with JCT or with Black Minds Matter to be able to, maybe there's an organisation out there somewhere in people's minds that they want to come and bring to you guys or you, how do people get involved with you?
Well, we've got a table over there, come and talk to us. We've got our social media, we've got our website at JCT Community Management. Come and see us. Listen, we're always looking and open and looking for volunteers. The thing is, there's like 5 of us here. We've got about 5 or 6 other volunteers, but we need to be able to stretch all the way around. We need mums involved, we need ladies, we need guys, we need people to jump on board with our thing, because we believe that our way is the way forward, especially when it comes to dealing with communities like the estates, the disenfranchised kids. They look up to us, they know us, they've seen us through all of their lives. It's about us teaching them that there's definitely a different way to do things rather than the way things are going now. I mean, there was another study just last night in Magic Court. Where is this going to stop? How many more of us are going to have to lose our children and our family and our friends and suffer through this? And for what? It's nothing. I mean, half of these things now, it just seems to be, you know, this estate, that estate. We all grew up together in the same ends. We've got different stories. Some of us have been to prison, some of us have done all of this gang life, but we've managed to switch ourselves around, switch our life around. This is what we're trying to teach the youth. Then there is another way. You do not need to be out on these roads heating up this rubbish. You're killing yourselves, you know? I know we might not have many kids here right now that's into that way of life, but even just getting that message out there. Parents, a lot to answer for as well. Nobody's going around blaming parents. But how did these kids get like this? How? You know, society's messed up, yes, we know. But it starts at home. Your kid cannot come out of your house with a big kitchen knife walking to school, people. That can't be the way. And we're here, we'll come into your kid, with your permission, we'll come into your kid's bedroom and talk to that kid. Because at the end of the day, they need that one-to-one. They need that, maybe they ain't got a dad in their life or big brothers or whatever it is. We're here to do all of that and be all of that for as many young people as we can. Let me just say, that's not all we do. Because of the pandemic, we had to kind of switch our business model around. We started feeding people. We feed 30 to 50 families a week, every week, with a week's worth of shopping. We do chaperone service for children. We work closely with Harris Academy School. We do mentoring. We do anything community related. We are 24-hour service. Please use us. If you need a wardrobe move, call us.
Yeah, that's really nice because a lot of people may not have, like you said, big brothers. They may not have dads. The female of the house may not have someone to lift and to do heavy lifting. They may be moving house. They may need this help. Community, support, family, that's where it starts. Just, yeah. And yourselves.
So with us, how you can come down and support or volunteer with us, we've got a few summer interns coming up, and we actually have the opportunity of the Kickstarters. So that's actually, if you're on universal credit or you're in that position right now, you can come down and do the community Kickstarters approach, which is government based, and you will get national minimum wage as well. So that's a good start for you to get into some sort of work if you're not working right now. So that's some of the opportunities we have right now. But also just seeing, you can go to our website as well, which is blacklinesmatter.co.uk, and we have other opportunities, like we've said before. It's about connecting with other organisations as well and allowing you to see that access. So another thing that we're doing is a yoga teacher program starting in September for only black and brown young people. It's the first of its sort that we know of. Which is going to be starting in September, as I said. And yeah, that's some of the things off the top of my head, Candace.
Anything, yeah.
Amazing, guys. And a few more questions just to end off with. Your mental health, your perspective. How did you guys cope through the lockdown, through the pandemic? Obviously, you had a business to keep up. How was you able to keep running and to keep serving the communities in various ways? Did you have to, like you said, you changed some things around? What is it that you had to do?
I think, if I'm honest, not a lot changed for me personally, because in my 9 to 5 I'm a key worker, so I had to be out there anyway. And I think, I don't know, the main thing that changed is that the streets was empty, like there was nothing at all to do. It was crazy. I was still out there and was still delivering food parcels and doing, but it's like everything had just slowed right down. So, you know, by going out there and visiting people and seeing how other people were struggling, they were struggling with, you know, being alone, alone with their thoughts, can't visit their family, nobody can visit them. So that in itself can lead to mental frustration. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was a hard time, but I think even one of our other services that came out of the pandemic is we've got a guy called Pete. He's terminally ill with cancer. And we reached out to him, and he loved what we were doing so much, so we were delivering food to him and stuff. And then he just said, you know what, because of my medication, I'm up like 18 hours in the day. Like I said, I reiterate, we run a 24-hour service. You phone the number on that card, and somebody will answer. You know, from whether it's domestic violence. We've had calls that somebody needs milk. Am I lying? And one of us has gone and taken a box of cereal and milk to a mum that needed it. Do you get what I'm saying? But like I say, with Pete and the terminal illness, he liked what we were doing so much that he offered his services. He said he's going to buy a pen, buy a pad, and we gave him a phone. And just if you need to talk, because this stigma of mental illness, especially amongst our own people as well, there's a big stigma about it. People want to laugh about it, or people want to take it like it's not serious. It can happen to anyone. My best friend, I would never have thought that could ever happen to anyone. It happened to my best friend. So keeping open your lines of communication and just having somebody there like Pete, he's in a real bad way himself, but he's willing to give. And like I said, just coming together, that's what it's about.
That's amazing. That is a lovely testament as well. And with your guys, how was you?
Yeah, we kind of had to pivot online, so just having virtual link-ups with our young people, checking with them, make sure they're okay, and then as individuals, some of the leaders of our group, they would individually call around, message around, and make sure that we're all doing okay. Yeah, those were pivoting online. We had to do that a bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think Zoom's, everybody knows how to work Zoom now because of the pandemic. It's a bit mad. Even
that
if
was
you
a whole
weren't
different world.
I'm telling you, even if you weren't technical now, you are welcome. Okay, but no, thank you very much, guys, for coming and sharing your businesses and your community groups. As you heard, they're about, please engage with them. They need you to engage as we do, as your young people do, as the community does. Okay, this is why they're here today. Let's link up and make things happen. Let us come together. Today is very loving. There's a lot of love here. I've got every single crystal on me.
100.
Oh yes, it's lovely. But thank you very much, guys. Is there anything that you would like to leave or would like to say?
Also, just separate from Black Man's Matter, I have my own kind of initiative called City Girl Nature. So that's also about introducing the outdoors to the community and my people, kind of thing. So you can catch me on social, City Girl Nature, or check out my website, citygirlnature.com. And there's some exciting things coming with that also. So just to plug my little thing in as well.
Why not? Why not? Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything else?
Do you know, one of my partners here, Barry, he deals with healthy eating, life and well-being. So look up Pure Liberty, number 9 on Instagram.
Nice.
Get your CMOS, yeah?
Boy.
Get your stuff.
All right.
You need your stuff.
Have a word, guys.
And I'd just like to thank you for the opportunity to come up
You're
here.
very welcome.
To the people.
Big up the Inside Out Collective. La la! All right.
And follow us at JCT Community Management.
That's exactly. How do we find you guys?
You can find us on Black Minds Matter Official. You can also find us on WCEN London on Twitter and Instagram.
Amazing. Guys, thank you very much. Please stay around, stay tuned, because we have some performances coming up to end our festival today. La la.